everybody. I'm doing a 30-minute session for a client. So I'm going to be sharing psychic wisdom and energy healing. If any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, please come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. All right, so I can't wait to see what happens. All right, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm going to read your goals out loud, and then we're going to get started. You say, "Hi, Abbey. I'd like to receive healing from the Annunaki." This is going to be awesome. Okay. There's this echoing energy. It's deep, okay? So as much as I want it to go like super happy and bouncy and bubbly, but it's like, oh, it's actually kind of deep. So I'm going to chill and let's see what comes up. Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for the opportunity to connect with you today. And thank you so much for sharing. We're all going to learn so much from this experience. Okay, here we go. Annunaki healing. Okay. Okay. I'm moving through a doorway, like an interdimensional doorway, and it was completely silent, and I was drifting ever so slightly. It's kind of felt like, where am I going? What am I doing? When am I going to get there? All of a sudden I hit this experience, and it's this fresh landscape. There's absolutely phenomenal growing plants, okay? And I don't know what these ones are, but there's thousands of these very thin strands, like grass blades. They have little bulbs on the top. They aren't necessarily flowers, I guess. They're not saying they're flowers. They're some kind of plant, but I love moving my hands through them because of the wispy, the kind of, I don't know, that there's a wetness to the thin strands of what are like really thin, really healthy grass blades. And it's like got that squeaky noise that you could make on it. And then it's got this little tiny bulb, and it looks like it could create a white flower. And it's closed. And there's thousands. It's like I'm moving my hands through this really peculiar grass, and it's awesome to experience it. And I see an extraordinary energy, consciousness, and I'm kind of sitting on this ground looking up at the sky, and this energy consciousness is really vast, really massive. It's a face in the sky, basically. The sky is building energetically, and it's becoming darker shades of blue, and there's no clouds. However, the energy creates the face, but it creates it creates a look to it that kind of looks like clouds, but it's not. It's perfectly clear sky, but I can see outlines of what creates this face, okay? And there's like spherical parts of it. The face is very intense at first, then it relaxes. And the face shows me that the sky has water in it, and that the water in the air can be conjured basically and pulled together to create shapes in the sky, and that aren't clouds, okay? So it's pulling water from the air in order to create its face. And then it smiles and it kind of laughs a bit as it shows me the whole sky is water. It's like he's saying, isn't that neat? Isn't that awesome? Like the whole sky is water. It's like a lake, a big lake that surrounds you. It's all full of water. And you can move the water particles in order to create shapes in the sky. That's what he says. He's really laughing hysterically. Like, did I scare you? Because he sort of came out of nowhere, and it's just this big face appearing in the sky. And I was like, whoa, there's a really intense big face in the sky. and it's getting darker. But actually, he was just showing us what he could do, I guess, with air and water. He's really pleasant. He's really funny. He's really sweet. He says he's not going to leave the sky yet. He's going to stay in the sky. And he's watching you. Is he full of jokes? Because he feels like he's being silly when he says that. And I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I have my eye on you. Is that a good thing? It's kind of got this like looming sense, but he's so bubbly, and he's kind of laughs behind the scenes of everything that he says. So you feel very cheerful around him. I mean, it's very easy to feel cheerful around him. I tell him that I don't know what it is about this grass, but I am so into it. It's like so it's just thin little strands. It's almost like hair, but it's like grass, and you move your fingers through it. It's the best. Like, I don't know what it is about the texture and the experience of it, but it is really great. I'm just touching this grass, and I can't stop. And I'm telling him I love touching this grass here. Let's see what he says next. I apparently the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm having a hard time concentrating on him because I can't stop touching the grass. So in a way, I'm asking him for help. The grass is great. I really like the grass. Help me! I can't stop touching it. It's wonderful. Okay. He sends energy to me, and he's exchanging me for you, and you are enjoying touching the grass, and you're having a hard time stopping because it's just so wonderful, and you've never touched any texture quite like this, and it's special. It's a special experience, and you want to take in as much as you can. And you're getting emotional because you miss worlds that are like this, where you could be in nature and find so many interesting experiences just sitting on the ground. And you are emotionally venting to him. I really get it. I can feel the difference of what it is like to be here and what it is like to be on earth. There is, even the air loves you, and you can hear it, you can smell the love. It smells like crisp, clean water. It smells like fragrances of flowers. It smells like fresh grass. It smells like nature. And you can hear it. You can feel it. You can experience the very air loves you. This Anunnaki is pulling the water from the air to create an image of himself in the sky. Almost like he's representing God, you know? And in a way that is purely benevolent, purely loving, purely, absolutely, genuinely cares. And you're venting emotion because you miss this. You miss this. It's interesting because when I do these journeys, I feel like it's me, and then I'm really glad he interchanged because I'm really into this, and it's me getting to appreciate your experience that you are having, moving through the interdimensional doorway, going into this place with the grasses, this being appearing in the sky and the way it made you feel. But you never felt truly threatened, more so in awe of everything than felt threatened. And what your soul's actually asking for is to have time here in this world, to have time where you feel truly deeply nurtured by an actual space, a place that is thriving, and you want to feel that again, and it's sort of filling. I don't want to call it a void because it's, but you could say it's like it's filling a void inside yourself that misses this exchange, just feeling love all around you. Like here on earth, we don't feel like the air loves us, you know? We don't feel inspired to just sit there and touch the grass for hours. But here you do. Not even need to question it. It's obvious where the love is all around you. Is you're surrounded by love. Here we have to tell ourselves that's the truth. There's love everywhere, but we don't exactly feel it. It's like we're numb to the reality that we're surrounded by love all the time, and we want to feel it and we struggle to feel it. Here, you don't even have to try. You feel it. You absolutely feel it. Now, the man in the sky is altering the image and is altering space and is showing a doorway with a rounded top and is welcoming you to walk through the doorway. And this is maybe 20, 30 feet in front of you, okay? And when you look through it, it's black. So it's quite obvious. It's right there. Everything around you is pure nature, pure thriving nature. You say, why do I have to go through another doorway? I just want to be here right now. And why do you have to be in the sky? Why can't you just come down and talk to me face to face, person to person? He's thinking. And he sends a ripple in the sky and picks a flower for you. And suddenly it is already in your hand. And he encourages you to smell the fragrance. And you do. The flower isn't perfectly bright red. It's more got some subtle orange in it. And he kind of bows to the sky and says, thank you. And an event is happening here. It's not easy. It's hurts my nose. It's like literally putting glass shards inside of my nose. And I'm screaming from the pain, and the glass shards are getting stuck up in here and in my brain a bit. Like it's cutting my brain, is what it's like. It hurts behind my eyes. It's worse. It's 10 times worse, 50 times worse. It's like a brain freeze. And it's like I'm trying to get this out and I can't get it out, and it's hurting me really bad, and my eyes are just starting to get really bulgy, like they're gonna pop out of my face. And he says, just breathe, just stay with it. Oh, man, this is hard. This whole area right here, like nose, or like above the eyebrows right here, is really majorly affected, okay? And it sends you spiraling down, okay? Really fast. He says, I'm still with you. I'm still with you. Just hang in there. This is the part of the doorway, okay? And this hurts, okay? You're spiraled down, and once you hit the ground, you don't hit soft ground by any means. It's like spiky, and you literally are, it's not a cartoon. Your body sinks, it just falls and sinks into spikes. And you've got all these spikes up inside of you, and there's strange beings down in here in the dark, okay? And they act like human beings, and they have big wads of money, okay? And they're like counting money is what it's like, and then sniffing a lot. And this is, you're just like, you're like literally hitting your face, like, get it out, get it out of my face. You're like this. And these mindless people are down here just counting money and counting money like that. And I still experience the face in the sky. Like I can see through all this, and I can see that space, that dimension. I still see the face in the sky. And I remember the grass. But I'm here. But I'm here. And I'm sitting in pain here. Sitting here in pain. And now it was just a fragrance. The flower took me to another experience, and now the experience disappears. And I never left the grass. And I never left the kind man in the sky. And I'm looking around, and I'm having a weird epiphany about choices. And I tell the man, this is you. It's really hard for me to realize. You tell the man this, okay? I'm telling you, the energy and the value and the meaning is really loud, okay? You tell him that you understand why human beings make the decisions that they make. A human being could sit in that grass and just be in nature, and we can take away all this that we've built up to create a society, or we could just move into something far simpler. And as we remember nature, we remember our nature. We remember our nature through nature, and nature reminds us of who we are, who we truly are, what we are. And then the love in the air, we start to experience that sensation without trying. When we feel separated from nature, we feel separated from our true nature. And that inspires us to make decisions that could be self-harming decisions. And it's almost like part of us is crying and angry and hurt, and it's like just wanting the pain of a human life to go away, and we are attracted to self-harming choices in order to shorten our lifespan, so to speak, because we're in so much pain. And sometimes the choices we make are to alleviate the pain for a period of time, whatever that is. Could be shopping, or drugs, or alcohol, or whatever it is to override that pain, And it works, it could work for a short period of time. And then we need to fill that void, right? And so you sitting here wanting to fill this void with this beautiful nature and this kind man's energy makes sense. You look around this place and it starts to get windy here. And the wind is actually blue. I can see the wind because it has denser and lighter parts of it, and the wind actually is blue. And I can see it moving, and I can see whirls of it, and it's blue. It's not invisible. And I can see the wind, and I can see variations of blue in the sky. And I feel that the sky is communicating with me. Sky is speaking to me. And I asked the man, you asked the man, why can't you come down from there? Why can't you come down from there? Just stand here before me. But he emanates, I'm everywhere. I am the wind. I am the grass. I am all of this. I am all of this. And you feel sad, like, I don't want you to be all of this. I just want you to be what is like one person. And maybe it's kind of like emanating. Maybe that's just because I'm human. I need that. But when you're everything, it's hard for me to take you in. Like, it's hard for me to take everything in. It's hard for me to know how to talk to you as the wind and the grass and the sky and the water. I don't know how to talk to you as all of this. I feel like I would like you to take all of this and then turn it into a form that stands here so I can talk to you. And he says, as yourself. So you can talk to me as yourself. And because he shows you a mirage of himself, he doesn't look like you. I see two different faces. And a mirage of a man standing here. And you're sitting. And he says that, does this help you understand why? Why human beings need other human beings to communicate with themselves or to communicate with all of nature put into each and every body, each and every person that walks the earth, each and every form possesses the wind and the water and the earth and the sky and the plants and all of nature. Everybody does, okay? And the human relates to communicating with one person at a time kind of thing, or being able to see everything contained into a single form with eyes like your eyes, with a nose like your nose, and a mouth like your mouth, with a form or figure like yours. Like, it's a human being. You're a human being, they're a human being. And he shows that, again, every human being on this planet is a composite of everything in nature. In order for you to be able to communicate with nature, you can communicate with others. Every single person is nature, and you are nature. You are a composite of nature. You are all of nature. And there's these echoes about how to remember your true nature. You must then return to nature, where you were born from nature. You must then return to nature to remember your true nature. And then he shows me the human race that has all been born from nature must all return to nature to remember their true nature. And that what we are as a human race still contains all of the building blocks or the elements that we were born from. Now, how we are channeling that information, how we are expressions of that information. It depends on how we work through the structures of our society, basically. So when you talk to another human being, you are communicating with all of nature contained. But is that human a reflection of their true nature? Are you a reflection of your true nature? And then he looks back at this dark place with the pain. And then the others that are like drug dealers is what it's like, also hurting themselves for money, hurting others for money. Money then becomes our true nature. We quest for that which is not ourself. It's interesting because he shows me that money was born from nature too. Everything is born from nature. Our buildings, our Tupperware, everything is born from nature. Everything. And he's proud to see how we are choosing to work with nature in order to build a world for each other and to explore our biologies, explore our identities, explore us. It's almost like what he's emanating is he's part of like, let's say he is a watcher of the human race, and that our human race was born from or manifested from inspirations of the Annunaki. And the Annunaki are essentially God to us. Like our creators, we are born from the same seeds that they are born from. And we are in their image and likeness. Like, isn't Jesus is, the human race was born from, Jesus was made from God's own image. The human race is sort of from God's own image. And Anunnaki, like, we were born from their own image and the nature here on earth. We were born then here on earth. That's what he's expressing. And he's expressing information that it's okay whatever direction we choose to take, because what he emanates is pure love for our race. And no matter what our choices, even if it takes us away from nature and then we lose our true nature, he's not concerned about that. He sees that as part of growing up, part of the evolution of this race. Part of this race growing up is to lose itself at times. It's just like you could say, you see this adorable child then turns into a teenager who's going through emotional challenges in adolescence, become the 20s and then the 30s and then the 40s, and all the changes that take place in a single lifetime just for one human being. Now take a look at the evolution of a race and the phases that we're going to go through, even adolescent-like phases that we're going to go through as a race. And that's okay. And the Anunnaki are always here for us, love us dearly as their own children. They love us dearly and they understand us. And they are, he is a pure human being that is vastly human. The human at his true capacity is what he represents, is like God to us, and yet is us. And you seem to know this at the soul level, and you miss these divine truths. You miss feeling or breathing, inhaling, exhaling, living in the experience of these divine truths without having to find them, to have epiphanies with them, to just work your whole life at it, to get one step further, It's just still skimming the surface when the love is so easily always there, but it's hard to feel it when you're here on earth. I sense that in your energy field. You know these truths. You long to be reminded of these truths and to interact with true humans. Annunaki reflecting that the pure love and kindness, genuineness, nature, your nature, human nature. All right, let's see what else. He asks you to stand up in this beautiful grassy place, and you stand up, but your bones are brittle, your legs are wobbly, like you can't stand up, and you fall to the ground. I don't know, this reminds me of, baby giraffes. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost certain that when they're born, they have to stand up immediately. And they have to stand up all by themselves. They cannot be helped. And it's important that the baby giraffe stands up. And I could imagine that there could be issues with legs in newborns, but a giraffe has to stand. It's like a horse. If the horse has any issues with their ankles, they're done, There's something about the importance of standing up and the inability to stand up is an important message. And let me continue to watch here. You have to stand up for yourself. Nobody can help you. You have to stand up for yourself. And your legs are too weak and you can't stand and you reach your hand out for help. But it's like the mother giraffe cannot help the baby giraffe to stand. The baby giraffe has to stand. It's kind of like survival of the fittest concept, You find your strength and you're still wobbly, but you're choosing to stand up for yourself. Stand on your own 2 feet. Stand. And there's odd orbs around the knees, around the ankles, around the hips they're very odd. They're like bones that became really bulbous like this, and that's creating this odd. They're not strong. These bulbous energies and the bones themselves, it just doesn't feel strong. But you're standing, and as you stand, you're forcing energy in and out and in and out of your feet and your ankles and your legs, your hips, like in and out and in and out. And that breath is altering these bulbous parts, okay? Inhaling, exhaling. When you start to believe in yourself, the resistance, the weakness disappears, and you force strength to be now the legs that you stand on, the feet you stand on. The strength becomes you. When you are strong in yourself, when you stand for yourself, the strength now is you. You become the strength. You choose the strength. You become the strength. You did it. You are doing it. Nobody is helping you. You are helping yourself because you want this. Because you want to stand. Because you want to live. In nature, if you do not stand, you will die. In human nature, be strong and stand. It's weird because he shows me the echo of so many crutches that we are creating for ourselves and each other. Something to lean on. We don't want to stand anymore. We don't want to stand for ourselves. We don't want to stand up for something. And I know that's not true in every way, shape, and form. There are people that do stand up, right? I mean, but he's showing me there's this rippling through society. People don't have to be strong for themselves, and I want to continue to see where this goes. Okay, on one side, part of me thinks we are acknowledging collectively that there is another way, that the survival of the fittest or the hardship can be transformed into something, we can deal with it differently. Maybe there's a softer way of dealing with things that can also achieve the same outcome. But perhaps that is only weakening us without us realizing it. Perhaps to become strong is not something you can artificially do. Perhaps to become strong is something that you have to do with willpower. You have to conquer something. It takes challenge to do it right. You know what I mean? So let's see here. Yeah, he has many messages to share about this. It's no different than, let's say you're in a lot of pain. So you take painkillers, and that way you can still do normal day-to-day functions. But that pain is actually telling you something. You don't want to listen to it because it hurts, right? So instead, we're trying to find a way to cope with it by numbing the pain and then continuing to live our life. We don't have to feel the pain even if it's there, and we're just going to keep living our life. That's part of the problem. We need to allow pain to teach us the right next steps. It's like we need to be working with our own true energies. We need to be working with nature in ways where we are allowing ourselves to hear nature speaking to us, whether it's coming from our own bodies or it's coming from feeling the wind and watching the trees to understand weather patterns, things like this. And I mean, he's expressing this message, okay? But even still, it's important that he expresses this message, but he still emanates pure love and pure love for our race as it is growing up, and the ways that we are choosing to work through our lessons collectively, and what we are deciding to do with our lives. What are we deciding to do with our life, with our lives, for each other, for ourselves, with nature, or avoiding nature, avoiding our true nature? How will we truly find ourselves until we stop avoiding, until we start listening, till we start doing, till we start choosing to become strong again? All right. I could stay in that experience for a while. It was important. It was easy to take in. It was easy to understand. It was like the way that talking to God would be, like a kind energy consciousness that understands you truly, deeply, understands the very DNA, understands and sees, feels, experiences through the eyes of everybody here on our planet, and is a true human as we are evolving into being a faction of this true human ourselves, you know? He says he doesn't want it to be a faction of to to be a true human. Simply that. Simply that. And you can talk to him anytime. Just tap into in your heart the way those grasses might feel in your imagination, the way that face might appear to you, the blue wind, the water in the sky, the flower that took you into, showed you something important to see. It's really loving. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was breathtaking. And thank you all also for watching. And I hope you all have a very beautiful day.